Hi everyone. Thought I'd do something fun. Trying to keep your attention with this little video after a quiz with this silly looking avatar. Could not find an avatar with a receding hairline, so this is the next best one. Hope you enjoy it. So as promised, this is going to be a bit of a crash course on how to convert units properly. Because I told you, as a scientist at heart, I couldn't bear watching you do a shortcut unit conversion on just metrics, because as you know, there are so many things in this world that is not just 1 to 1000 or 1 to 100 or 1 to whatever. Sometimes it's 1 to 1760, it's 1 to 3, it's 1 to 12. As you all know, 1 foot is approximately 12 inches, or it is 12 inches, and 1 inch is approximately 2.5 centimeters. 1 mile can be converted to kilometers, hours to minutes, minutes to seconds. There are a vast, world of units that can be converted between each other, and it's not in multiples of 10. So here it is. I hope you have something to write with, and I hope the substitute has given you these sheets, because I'm going to take some of these examples and show you. So to start off, how to unit convert. Long story short, these equations here, these conversion, statements, are going to be written as a fraction. Remember, 1 meter is the same as 1000 millimeters. So if I wrote 1 meter over 1000 millimeters, that's equivalent to a value of 1, because it's the same thing. It's like if I did 10 divided by 10, you know the answer is 1. If I did 1000 divided by 1000, I know the answer is 1. Why? Because this quantity and that quantity is the same. This quantity and that quantity is the same. In the same argument, 1 meter and 1000 millimeter is the same. Okay? So I can say that, and that's equal to a value of 1. So here it is. Any of these statements, these conversion statements, you can write it as a fraction, and that's what we're going to use to multiply. Here is an example. Let's pretend I have 3.5 kilometers, and I'm interested to know what value this would be as meters. Okay? So you think, okay, do I know the unit conversion from kilometers to meters? Yes, I know 1 kilometer equals 1000 meters. This means I can write this as 1 kilometer over 1000, because that equals a 1. Or I could write it as 1000 meters over 1 kilometer, because that equals a 1. What you do is as follows. You write your initial number down, and you write it as a fraction, because you'll see. Next, I am going to multiply one of these unit conversion factors that matches or corresponds with a numerator of a kilometer. So this numerator is a kilometer. In other words, the top of the fraction is a kilometer. I want that same unit in the denominator. So which one of these two match or corresponds with this unit on the other side of the fraction? This one right here. We are going to use this and write 1 kilometer is to 1000 meters. And this is legal because it's like I'm multiplying with 1. Right? That's the argument. So what does this equal? Well, kilometers and kilometers are going to divide each other out. The units, quote unquote, divide each other out. All that's left with is multiply across, multiply across. The denominator is 1 times 1. The numerator is 3.5 times 1000, so we move the decimal place 3 times. And the unit that persists, that survives these, operations, is meters. This is 3,500 meters over 1, which is the same as 3,500 meters. 3.5 kilometers is equal to 3,500 meters. This is how you unit convert properly, by multiplying with a fraction. Shall we do a slightly harder example? How about I talk about time? Okay, let's do an obscure amount of time. I have 2.25 hours to kill. How many minutes is that? Okay, I want to know what minutes is that. Is there a direct unit conversion for hours to minutes? Yes, there are. We know that 1 hour equals 60 minutes, right? So this can be written as 1 hour over 60 minutes or 60 minutes over 1 hour because they both equal a value of 1. Write down the original number over 1, of course, and we multiply it with the unit conversion factor. The hour in the numerator will correspond with hour in the denominator. So which one do we choose? You guessed it, it's going to be this one. 1 hour on the bottom, 60 minutes on the top. Please note that it's not always 1 on the bottom. Sometimes it can be this one, depending on what direction you go. Maybe the next example I do, I'll do that. Okay, hours. That crosses out. Multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. And 2.25 times 60. That looks to be 120 with 15, 135. And the only units that persist after all of this is minutes in the numerator, nothing in the denominator. That is equal to 135 minutes. That's it. That's exactly it. So, shall we do one more harder one before we jump into something like that? Okay, here we go. How about we... Actually, we could take one from here. How about we do something in reverse? Okay, this is going to be a bit of a tough one, but I hope you can handle it. It's that. I'm going to take this and I'm going to come and paste it. Let's see if I can find page 2 for this. Right there. 1.9 millimeters is to what kilometers? Do we have a direct conversion factor from millimeters to kilometers? Well, if you are savvy, you would know that 1 kilometer is 1,000 and then another 1,000 unit places away from kilometers. But let's pretend you didn't. Let's pretend it's too confusing. You do know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters, and 1 meter is equal to 1,000 millimeters. Let's do it. Conversion factor, 1.9 millimeters, over 1 of course, is going to multiply with the conversion factor that has millimeters on the bottom. And of course, it's right here. 1,000 millimeters is to 1. So if I want millimeters on the bottom, I could have 1 meter to 1,000 millimeters, or 1,000 millimeters to 1 meter. And you can guess that this is the one we want. It is 1 over 1,000 millimeters. Whew. Let's do it. 1 meter over millimeters. Millimeters will divide out. Multiply across. We have 1.9 divided by 1,000, and we have meters. If I were to do this in the calculator, I would get 0019 meters. Didn't expect that, huh? Let's keep going. We have meters, that's halfway there. Meters can now be used to turn it into kilometers. So let's do it. If I have 0.0019 meters, over 1 of course, I am going to multiply with a conversion factor that has meters on the bottom and kilometers on the top. Without having to rewrite it, can you figure out what number goes where? Going once, going twice. Meters is the 1,000, and kilometers is the 1. Meters will cancel out, leaving me 0.0019 times 1, 1 times 1,000, and the only units left is the kilometers in the numerator. Put that in the calculator, you will get 1,234,519 kilometers. Which makes sense. 0.9, you know that's a really tiny value on your ruler inside your pencil case. How many kilometers is that? Well, a really, really, really small amount. I hope this makes sense. And I'm hoping you get a chance to use this particular method to solve all of these metric conversions in your handout. Okay? And the answer key, I believe it's already available online. You can test that. And I really hope you will try to use unit conversions because, as I said, not everything in this world is in metric. Sometimes it is important for us to be able to convert between imperial and metric and beyond. So I'm going to ask you to do that as well. Please, please, please try to do the full solutions on a separate piece of paper using unit conversions because the future you will thank you for it, especially in science and any other time you might need to convert units in math and sciences. So you got a good, 2.5 years left, right? It will be useful and it's not a waste of time. Give it a shot. Any questions you might have, we'll take it up tomorrow in class. And yeah, best of luck. We'll see you then.